raised him to believe the Bible and to do what God wanted to do, and we knew that there's a cost to that.
From the outside looking in, Canada seems like such a perfect nation. The people are warm and friendly, and they could even tell you sorry when you are the one who bumped into them, you know. It ticks all the boxes of the kind of country that you would feel like you want to find yourself in. And it is a beautiful nation, but when you begin to look beneath the surface, when you begin to look deeper, you realize that there's something critically wrong somewhere. Beneath the surface lies a very a hard pill to swallow. As a Christian, you begin to notice the parallels, the similarities with the nation of Canada and what you find in the Bible in nations that have denied God, have abandoned God, Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylon. You begin to notice things that you can't, shake off. It's there in your face every single day. These physical battles are not just an implementation of law and order, but are an indication of a deeper spiritual crisis, a manifestation of a nation in spiritual decline, and a call for God's mercy and urgent divine intervention. Canada once called itself a Christian nation, but today, is it really? From the 1900s to now, the population of people identifying as Christians have literally dropped by half. Church attendance has declined year after year. Thousands of churches across Canada have closed, merged, or they have been renovated to be other buildings. Like, I know of residential properties that right now people are staying in as their homes, but previously those were churches. There are so many different, physical structures that previously were churches in Canada, but they have been converted now to be used as other things. What is going on? Even though the generation of Gen Z is seeing an interest in Christianity, you still find that the older generation, the amounts of people in the older generation that have fallen away from the faith, still cause the decline of Christianity in general to be significant. Christianity is what once shaped Canada's laws, their education system, and moral framework. It was once the foundation of this nation, and now a demonic principality at the helm of this nation has unleashed a chaotic wave of manipulation, domination, and intimidation. And these are really manifestations of witchcraft. And that is causing chaos because it has painted Christianity as offensive. Offensive to who? We must understand that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and wicked powers of this world. The Bible warns us that when you see these things happen, don't look at the physical people that you see on the news every day, but look behind them. Look at the principalities and the wicked powers that are actually at work to turn a nation against God. The truth of the matter is that Canada is in deep spiritual warfare.
What we're really seeing isn't concern about public safety, law and order. It's politics and Christian persecution. A worship service that has never raised eyebrows before is suddenly being treated as a threat. The truth is simple. If this were any other group, there would be no problem. But because these are Christians and the organizer has the wrong politics, the government and media have made it a big issue. That is targeted, that is biased, and that is proof that Christian persecution isn't just happening overseas, it is happening here in Canada.
The question then is that, are Christians aware? Are the remnant aware? Are Christians aware that they are in a battle for the survival of this nation? The next question I ask myself is, so how did we get to this point? How did we get to the point where simply preaching the gospel on the side of the street is being seen as, offensive? How did we get to the point where when you're talking to someone and telling them the truth in love, you are being seen as spewing hatred? How did we get so far away from the truth to the point where Christians are even scared to freely express themselves online because they don't feel free? They don't feel like they can actually freely practice their faith. How did we get to this point? Perhaps a broader cultural shift towards secular liberalism is the foundation upon which a door was opened for the enemy to come in and comfortably take root. Because this presents a similar scenario to the one we find in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve and the sneaky snake that came and tempted Eve. Eve was tempted by the devil to explore liberalism in the context of taking her own decisions outside of God's instructions, essentially becoming her own God, which is self-idolatry. Perhaps this is the bedrock upon which the downhill started for Canada, when Canadians began to turn towards themselves instead of turn towards God. This can come through as believing and saying things like, my life is in my own hands, I can do and say whatever I want. It totally takes God out of the picture as the one who brought you into this world world and has a divine purpose for you, you no longer seek God for anything, but you make yourself your own God. You make yourself, your belief systems, your core value systems, your own God, instead of looking to your creator. And this is reflected in the way Canadians voted, because I feel like, whoever you vote into power is also reflective of your morals and your values. So if you were able to vote in a liberalistic government, that also goes to show that the majority of Canadians at a point in time actually shared these kind of belief systems, and that's when things just began to go downhill. And now this is the result. Under the Liberal government from 2015 onward, Canada has seen a stronger emphasis on individual autonomy over religious conscience, sexual and gender identity protections, state neutrality toward religion, often meaning religion is pushed into private life. And this sounds all nice and fancy, but the truth is that as a Christian, self-autonomy is actually idolatry. It's self-idolatry. You are, in fact, accountable to God. So religious conscience is, in fact, what drives your actions. But you can see that idolatry is what is being emphasized more under the Liberal government.
Since he believes God created only two sexes, Josh refused to use the preferred pronouns of two transgender students.
Female students in the school informed me that male students were using the female washrooms and they were concerned by this. So I decided to talk about that. I voiced my beliefs and I expressed concern to the principal. A female student also expressed concern to the principal, and we were both ignored.
The principal's response prompted Josh to organize a student demonstration outside the school. Just 2 days before the protest, however, he received an indefinite suspension from classes. When Josh returned for the next semester, school officials arrested him for trespassing.
People's hearts are turned away from God, and now the cracks are beginning to show. So it's 2025. What is the state of Christianity in Canada? Christians are still allowed to practice their belief, but there's a big but. Expressing those beliefs publicly can carry consequences if they offend government-protected norms. So essentially, you're not really free.
Okay, so you're under arrest for your breach of CSO. Okay?
You know why you're arresting this man for? He refused to apologize for his religious beliefs. Are you aware of that? Can you believe it? This is Calgary, Alberta, Canada, 21st century right now. A pastor in Calgary, Alberta, arrested for refusing to apologize to a sexual perversion.
So this is the state of Christianity in Canada today. But you know what? While I was doing this video, I just felt deep in my heart, deep in my spirit, that God is not done with this nation yet, and that is because you have a remnant. You have a choice people. You have a people like Abraham who interceded for Lot, who was in Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot was in Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham asked God that if you have just one person who believes in you in that city, would you destroy? And God said no. And God does not destroy from a place of hate, but from a place of preservation, not allowing that venom or that toxicity to spread to other nations and take them away from his glorious divine plan. Because whatever the devil touches, he destroys. But whatever God touches is blessed. There is a remnant. There is a remnant that has not given into the worship of self, but they still seek God's face every single day. They look around at what is happening and their hearts are grieved because, they see the sin, they see the suffering, they see people struggling, battling with a stronghold of anxiety, depression. They see people who are looking for solutions in marijuana and weed instead of looking for solutions in the Bible. They see people who are trying to go for quick fixes like medical assisted death instead of going for deliverance from the demons that are trying to take their soul. They see people in the nation of Canada who need God, and so they are on their knees praying for this nation. Because of those people, this nation still has hope. This nation is not far gone. But the time to make the decision is now, because we are at the crossroads. If you read the news every day, you watch what is happening in this nation, you see that every single day they want to steer the nation further away from God. Every single day decisions are being made that affect Canadians affect how God is going to be worshipped in this nation. It's happening every single day. And so the clock is ticking. The time to make the decision is now. The time to turn back to God is now. When a nation denies God, evil rulers take over and the people suffer. Check every nation that was once Christian and now isn't and come back to me with a common theme. Canada, you are now at a crossroad. This is the defining moment for you. It's not too late to return to your glory, your destined glory by God Almighty. You must make a decision and turn this nation back on the right track. Your destiny awaits.